What's the wildest thing you up? Text has led to? I was sound asleep when I got a phone call from a children's hospital at 2 a.m. I groggily answered because my wife works there, and on the other end of the line was an upset sounding woman who asked me, "Can you come get me? My phone and car are dead in the parking lot." "Sure thing babe, no problem." I got in my truck and made my way over, the booster cables and charging cord in hand. I was gonna be a goddamn hero. I was thinking I might even get a little special something as a reward for this late night trip. Well, I realized on the way that I forgot my phone at home. However, I didn't really care because my wife was standing in the parking lot waiting for me, right? Well, I pulled into the parking lot and looked around. I didn't see my wife's car, and after 15 minutes of circling it over and over, I parked in the emergency lot. I got out and was about to go into the hospital to track my wife down that way, when suddenly I saw a girl standing beside a car with her hood up. I asked her if she needed any help and she said nope, all good. My phone is dead but my boyfriend is on the way to get me. Cool beans. I wished her luck and headed inside to ask if my wife was here. The unit clerk looked at me like I was a complete nut job and said, "Your wife is an educator now. She only works the day shifts." I scratched my head for a second, and remembered that indeed for the last 6 months, my wife hasn't worked a single night. I proceeded to explain the situation, and they let me use their phone to call my wife. She picked up the phone, but she wasn't somewhere in the hospital. Nope, she was at home in bed. She was steaming mad wondering why I left in the middle of the night, why I called the girl on the phone before leaving babe, why I didn't tell her where I was going, and why I didn't take my phone. I stammered for a little, saying, "Hold up. You're at home? Okay, wait a minute, I'll call you back." With that, I went back out to my truck where I saw that same girl from earlier standing there. I had a strange feeling about her, so I asked her if she happened to call from the hospital at around 2 a.m. She said yes and started looking at me funny. I asked her what number she called and she responded by telling me a number that was almost exactly the same as mine. The only difference was that my number ended with 212, and her boyfriend's number ended with 121. It then dawned on me, she accidentally mixed up the numbers and called me. We laughed it off, and I helped her charge her car before we parted ways. I got home to my wife to explain what happened, and she was understandably very suspicious about the whole thing. You see, I happened to get the call when she was in the bathroom. She heard everything, but when she came out I was already gone. I don't know if she believed me then, but a few weeks later, one of the other nurses was telling my wife a story about how one of her friends accidentally called someone else's husband to boost her car one night and the idiot actually showed up. I was that idiot. My wife felt so bad for being suspicious of me that I did, in fact, get a little special something in the end.